Hi guys, welcome back. Today I'll be reviewing Sailor Twain, or The Mermaid on the Hudson by Mark Siegel. This is an adult graphic novel published by First Comics, and it's a really neat book. It's got quite a chunky one too for a graphic novel, and it has this lovely embossed mermaid on the inner cover, which I'm not sure if you'll be able to see or not. Ah, there you go. So anyway, this is a story set in the late 19th century aboard a steamship named the Lorelei that's traveling up and down the Hudson. And it is captained by Captain Twain. And it is owned by Jacques-Henri, older of two brothers. And Jacques-Henri is only in the story for a short time at the beginning because he starts acting very strange and suddenly disappears and is believed dead. And his brother Lafayette has to sort of take over the business of running the ship. And the story sort of centers around Lafayette and the captain and their lives. One night, the captain stumbles across a mermaid clinging to the sides of the ship. She's been injured by a harpoon, and he sneaks her on board into his cabin where he slowly nurses her back to health. As you can imagine, he's completely shocked to discover an actual mermaid, something that he just thought was legend or myth. And, so he keeps her totally secret and hidden from everybody else. Lafayette is not a very likable character. He is a bit of a cad. His lurid behavior on board the ship is very upsetting to the captain. He's sleeping around with all the women passengers. We will come to learn the reasons behind that as the story progresses. For some reason, he refuses to leave the ship, but he sends the captain on a mission to go purchase a book by the sort of ambiguous author by the name of C.G. Beaverton. No one knows the identity of this author. They've always kept their identity secret. And as the captain's bringing this book back, he's kind of flipping through it and discovers it mentions mermaids. It's a nonfiction book, so it is sort of discussing mermaids. And he's, of course, intrigued to know more. And as he sort of brings the book back, he, throughout the course of the story, sort of keeps sneaking into Lafayette's cabin to read more about the book and discovers that Lafayette is indeed writing to the author, asking them to come on board, which they agree. So the author is going to be revealing their identity. And he hopes that once the author's on board, he may be able to talk to this person and get some answers to questions he has about, this mermaid he has living in his cabin. And actually, Lafayette has some questions of his own. So it's a really intriguing story, bringing sort of the myth of mermaids to life. This is no Disney mermaid. They are vicious. They have, the ability to sing and lure sailors to their death. And, of course, he, requests that the mermaid does not sing to him. There's interesting parallels between the mermaid and the captain's wife, Pearl, who is back on land. She happens to be crippled below the waist and is wheelchair-bound, but she also happens to be this beautiful, has this beautiful singing voice, which she's well known for. So here you have two creatures unable to walk on land. Both have a singing voice, one of destructive nature and one of beauty. So it was a kind of interesting parallel between those two characters. And I really felt for the captain. He's overall a good character, but he's torn between these two women in his life. Again, Lafayette, you just kind of hate him through most of the book, but you come to understand him by the end, by this sort of climactic, dramatic ending that the book has, which I really liked. In terms of illustrations, they're all like charcoal drawings, very bold, which I really appreciated. I love that stark shadowing that the book has. I'll show you a couple images. Really, the one thing I don't understand is the artist seems to like big noses, particularly with regards to Lafayette. This character has just this huge nose. And the captain is always every time you see the captain, he's just totally bug-eyed. Looks like that throughout the entire book. Totally wide-eyed. We're just soaking it all in. But it's a really intriguing story. It opens up with this mysterious woman approaching the captain in a bar, sort of demanding this story that we end up reading through the pages of this book. And at first he will not give her the story until she shows him this necklace, and that opens him up, and he begins to tell the tale. And the necklace, we find out what it represents within the pages of the book. So I thought it was very well written. Like I said, I really enjoyed the illustrations and the storyline, and I thought it was very, very well done. In terms of the age level for this, For parents, I would keep in mind you are dealing with mermaids, so of course they are, not wearing any clothes from the waist up, and of course there are fish below. But there's also, with relationship to Lafayette, is very lurid behavior is mentioned quite often within the pages of the book, so it might not be appropriate for younger readers, but I think teens or adults will find it perfectly suitable. So I definitely recommend you picking it up. I'd originally given it like 3 stars. I thought about it a little bit more, and I've just recently kind of upped my rating to 4 stars. I thought it was, like I said, very intriguing, and I think you'll find it interesting. So hope you enjoy it. Bye-bye.